it's all to do with shape. Everything's colour. Everything we know is, it must be to do with orange. Not only with orange. I haven't seen colour. I live in a monochromatic world. I can't use colour. I can do everything.
You know, Marco's a cheeky guy. He tries to make me look like a prick all the time, and he makes fun of me because I'm older. But he's not so young himself anyway. He's not young Marco anymore, really, is he?
I remember at a certain point he was making music and I was visiting him at the studio. I was like, oh, I made that. And he was jamming and I'm like, dude, how's that ever gonna be, you know, how are you gonna sell that? And then he did. You know?
I think we have some of the same motivation and some of the same hunger for music, also some of the same fears and anxieties.
I think he's a kind of key figure here. I mean, he's been here for a while. I think being an artist or doing music has a lot to do with to listen each other. And yeah, Marco has that quality. I think it's some kind of happiness, I think he makes people happy. He's not also only about like super obscure stuff.
He puts emotion in his music. He grabbed something that was, you know, not really done in a certain way. I mean, he has his own musical world. You know, brought in the anti-sound, so he started playing, you know, what we were playing in the living room.
I was a little bit overwhelmed actually because I never saw a DJ mixing like that. So it was like very sort of hip-hop-ish kind of mixing, like doosh, doosh, like then another track and then a disco track and then a techno track and I was like completely out of my mind.
He's not scared of tempo changes, of changing directions in a set. He seems to be saying to the audience, hey, yeah, okay, but what about this? You know, I want you to hear this. I'm going to make sure you hear this, even if it's excruciating for you.
Amsterdam is really, really a hip-hop city, and a lot of DJs in Amsterdam that came from kind of Amsterdam, that are playing now, came from that scene also. And that has a bit of a factor in that kind of direct mixing thing. Just chuck the record in, you know? So I think I took a bit of that into the way I DJ, just throwing things in. The perfect mix is the most boring mix. A bit of a sloppy mix can be exciting. A big part of my musical upbringing was skateboard videos, because all the skateboard videos I was watching, like a blend of folk, hip-hop, punk rock, weird experimental music. And growing up on that, I didn't really differentiate that. For me, that was just normal to hear like one genre next to the other. So I've always been quite driven just to do it myself and my way. Just think about it like a Forrest Gump or something. It's a bit of art, a bit of graphic design, and it's a bit of skateboarding, and there's all these weird chapters in life, but that they all kind of mesh together in this music thing.
I think his success now is definitely persistence on his part and also taking it serious, you know. And don't forget, this guy he played records that people did not like for a long ass time. Maybe it's the skateboarding thing, you know. You fall, you try again. He didn't change one bit. Like, he's the exact same dude, which I can only admire, you know.
I didn't change. I felt like the world around me changed a bit more. I mean, I do a band with Gigi Messina and Johnny Nash, which is called Gaussian Curve. We're playing like these 700 seated concerts, and there's like loads of young people. If you would have told me that 8 years ago, to bet all the money I had back then, which was not a lot, admittedly, you know, I would have lost that bet. Because there's so much music in the world and so much great music. It's very fulfilling to help out like new guys coming up and get them to not make the same mistakes I made.
What I really respect about him and what inspires me is the way that he operates. He's always thinking how to get, you know, ahead in life. And he seeks out information that benefits him. And then he asks the right questions in order to get that information to him, and then uses the information to make his art, you know. That sort of sets apart, you know, like artists from academics, I guess.
If you're starting out as an artist, you have a lot of insecurities. You can only overcome by failing. You have to fail, you know. You have to clear dance floors to know how to fill dance floors, and you have to make awful tracks to make good tracks. Sometimes you have a room full of people, and half of them will never enjoy the music you're playing. So if you put on the right song to piss them off and make them leave, then you're left with the other half, which will have a great time, and that's making a right mistake. I've made that mistake a couple times, and I found out it works. And those are the little odd tricks of the trade you learn as a DJ. It's a very fine skill, clearing half a dance floor. I mean, you have to be your own biggest critic, and that's why you have to not care about what other people think. You have to care about what you think about your work. And if you care enough about your own work and are your biggest critic, then I think you have the capability of making the best work you can. I think if you stick to what you love doing, you will get there. And it doesn't matter if that's a success or not. It's about whether you accept it as a success or not. It's like your definition of success. It's never defined by what other people think. It's an unachievable goal. And once you accept that, then you have freedom.